Facebook and everybody on Zoom. Good to see all of you. I can see all of you live on Zoom, which is very, very nice. And Facebook, I'll just read your notes. I'm going to ask Angela, can I ask you to help me with Facebook today?
Yes, sure. Yes,
And
connecting. Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. I'd appreciate that. Since Catherine is on, we all see Catherine in the upper box. I'm going to ask her to do the same. Would you bring any questions over from Facebook, Catherine? And Catherine said, yes, I will do that. So thank you very much. Okay, so today we're going to continue on. And probably next week we'll go back to using more different groups of colors. But I wanted to stay with, just so we have a same understanding. I know many of you are either professional artists or instructors, but just so that we have the same understanding in terms of values, hue, tone, shade, and tint, to name a few. We're going to continue with that. Today we're going to go over Payne's blue-gray, Payne's gray, and then whatever other colors you would like to go over. Giovanni, are you going to show burgundy and magenta? Yes, he is. He's going to show burgundy and magenta. So if you've got questions, please don't hesitate to ask questions. And if you want to show something that you're happen to be painting on at your desk, please let us know and we will show that. There's many times we talk about pigments, and just so you all know, on the danielsmith.com site, under pigment list, you can find out for any color. You can either type it in the search box. For example, Alvaro Casanova was mentioned last session. You can look up the color index. Color index would be like PB15, pigment blue 15. It would give you the common name. And you can compare different colors on that spreadsheet. It's very, very easy. So if you ever have questions about what's in a color, how colors compare, it's a great place to go. And when you read them, almost like a loaf of bread, when you read the ingredients, the first one always has the most, and then it goes down from there, right? So if it's PB15, PB17, and pigment black number 8, the first one's always going to have the most amount. Okay.
We pasted the chart link in the chat, John, for pigment characteristics.
Thank you, Ethel. And good news, on the second iteration of testing the wish list, trying to get it to where it's going to be do many of the things that you've asked for. So I think that's going to be out probably in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to shut this thing off. I'll just do that thing. Or do what my mom does. Shove it in a drawer and hope I don't forget where it's at. Okay, so with that, we'll start looking at color. I know that Carrie has graciously put stuff together, as Letizia and Giovanni has. And I see Angela has. And Buffy, are you two as well?
Yes, if there's time, I'd love to share.
Yes,
Buffy as well. Hello, Brenda Swenson.
Hi, nice to see you.
Ooh, hi, Brenda.
Hi.
Okay. All right. Giovanni and Letizia, would you like to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you to all. Thank you, John. And
Oh, you're very welcome.
this is our two colors for today with the pigment inside. This is Payne's gray and Payne's blue-gray. Usually these two colors, John, in my style, using this tone for the, especially in the landscape, urban landscape, for the cloudy, for rainy cloudy, and then all the type of this shape. For example, I try in two modes. I will show my pencil. This is a Payne's gray. It's one of the beautiful gray. It's perfect for cloudy. And these two gray is more perfect for the create a brown shade with the oranges for the hue and the value tone. And this is a Payne's blue-gray for the cloud.
Giovanni, are you using the sticks?
Yeah.
No, 50
No, in this case, these are the tubes, but in the sticks, no.
Okay.
You're welcome. And
They are not available in
in the stick is not available. And perfect for create these very strong clouds. And for example, for create the brownish is a very interesting gray. This is pink blue gray, and for example, the permanent orange. I'm mixing together and create a perfect gray brown. Sorry for the reflection. I change. And Payne's gray. With permanent scarlet. There's a blue tone, red, brownish. It's very interesting for creating this shadow. For example, this tone is perfect for shadows on on the bricks in my painting under the 7 for the shadow. And another perfect combination with the Payne's gray is the new color Earthy Light Red. For create the interesting tone for the Grand Canyon rocks for the evaluation. And the mixing asking me to join with magenta and burgundy yellow ochre or burgundy red ochre. This is magenta before and pink blue gray. A beautiful violet and Payne's blue gray before and burgundy yellow ochre. A dirty green tone. Payne's blue gray. And burgundy red ochre. For the dark brown, blue ground. And then now I continue the glaze on the for the my cloud. It's perfect this color for this. And this Payne's blue gray. And another mixing is Payne's gray with the magenta, but with Payne's gray before in this case. I create the beautiful color. I use the sandwich mode before and after for intense purple with Payne's gray and another shade with burgundy yellow ochre. And create the difference with Payne's blue gray and Payne's gray with burgundy yellow. Okay, this is more light and more darker. And the last, burgundy red ochre. Or dark brown. Very, very dark tone. This is perfect for this combination, John. It's very helpful for create a dark tone similar to indigo, but I prefer Payne's blue gray for more shadows. And for example, another one of my favorite is alizarin crimson and Payne's gray. For this dark violet or another is with Mayan orange. Or interesting shade, light shade of brown, blue brown. I love mixing the blue and red for for the brown also. And my last selection is Payne gray. With the spiral orange for the best brown. I mix it. Like more oranges. And create this beautiful shade of brown with Payne's gray, and apply the last on my cloud. Last shade
This is desaturation.
is very desaturation mode.
Meglio, perché
More glazing, glazing, glazing. And I love the last time use the Payne's gray with titanium white in stick for create the beautiful shade, beautiful pastel tone. This oops. And create this beautiful light gray. This is Payne's gray and with Payne's blue gray. It's very interesting light mode. Thank you, John. It is very important is to grade. And to show it, I remove my phone for show one of my painting when I use the Payne's gray and in this part, for example.
Beautiful.
This is completely Payne's gray and with Van Dyck brown mixing shade and created this dark tone. It's different to neutral tint from the last session because This Payne's gray is perfect for create a completely dark tone, and not the shade, only the shadow with similar to neutral tint. But I prefer this in this case. Thank you,
Very
John.
good. Well, you're very, very welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Giovanni. Does anybody have any questions for Giovanni?
I have a question. Gio, do you ever use Payne's Gray in your black backgrounds on your still lifes?
In background, sometimes
Yeah.
I prefer the for the blue indigo or neutral tint or shadow violet. But in the more detail, in another part, I use the Payne's gray and Payne's blue gray.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Gio. Okay.
And have Carrie next.
Okay. Love that pillbox.
Sorry, I had to unmute. Okay, so I was very excited when you were talking about Payne's Gray and Payne's Blue Gray today because they are in every painting, every single painting I ever do. And so I have them swatched out here. I just wanted to show the difference. I dropped some water and I was trying to do like a Ashley type swatches. So I wanted to show you the difference. The Payne's Gray is more granulating and the Payne's Blue Gray is less granulating. And I used to use Payne's Gray all the time. And then when I was introduced to Payne's Blue Gray, I pretty much switched and I use that most of the time because I'm painting a lot of glass, mostly in still life. And so I like the less granulating colors. But what I love about Payne's Blue Gray and Payne's Gray is they're so versatile and they are able to lift easily. So I wanted to show you here. I have them both swatched out and I like to draw in, I call it my mapping in stage when I start a painting, and I kind of lay in colors and shapes. And I always do that with a lighter color to start with. And then when I know that I have things in the right place, I build on there. And Payne's Blue Gray and Payne's Gray both are so great because you can get really deep saturated color, but you can also, I just wanted to show you how nicely they lift with minimal effort if you need to lift a shape or you have something in the wrong place and you want to get back to the white of your paper. And I just want to show you how nicely that they both lift.
What paper is that, please?
This is Arch's 156-pound cold press. All of these. And I'm going to show you two examples of works that, like I said, I use Payne's Blue Gray now predominantly, but both of them, either one, they're kind of interchangeable. And there's my little pans. I make my own pans, so there's my little pillbox, and they're next door to each other. You can see that's I use them both. So I was going to show you
Wow.
this painting, which I called Big Gulp because the cup is larger. There's my hand, how big that cup is. So this painting is almost it's all Payne's Gray in the glass part of this painting. And do you see how nicely it also blends with the other colors nearby? And I'm going to show you on these swatch cards the colors that are in these two paintings. So with this one, I have my Quin Gold right here. You see the Quin Gold throughout the painting, and I have it mixed with the Payne's Gray. And I just want to show you how nicely they blend together. And then my blue is the Phthalo Blue Red shade. I also use that one. It's less granulating than an ultramarine blue and similar effect. So that's why I like that for the glass. So there it's playing right there with the Phthalo Blue Red shade and the Payne's Blue Gray. And then up here we have our Cobalt Teal Blue and the Payne's Blue Gray. And so those are the predominant colors in this painting. And you'll see how they blend nicely right there. This next painting I'm going to show you is a little teapot. and mostly Payne's gray. In fact, you were asking that question, Buffy, about the background being using Payne's gray in the background. This one I've used Payne's blue gray only for my darkest dark in the background.
Wow.
And also in here. So you see how saturated you can get that color. And I did want to show you on this swatch card, if you mix the two, the Payne's blue gray and the Payne's gray together, see how dark you can get a nice dark black. And it's pretty matte finish on my swatch card. So
Many
this,
layers.
the Payne's
It's dark.
Payne's gray granulates more than the Payne's blue gray. And I can read you, I was going to go over because we didn't talk about that. So the Payne's, let me see which one this is. The Payne's gray. So this one right here, the light fastness is excellent. It's a semi-transparent. It is granulating and it's low staining, which is what you can get that nice lift. And then this is the Payne's blue gray. And this one is also has an excellent light fastness. The transparency is semi-transparent. It is low staining as well, and it's non-granulating. So when you mix the two together, you can get that coverage. Of course, you could just use Payne's. If you didn't want granulation, you could use Payne's blue gray. If you're wanting granulation, then the Payne's gray is more granulating. But this teapot right here, once again. Where did mine? I have the colors that were in this teapot right here on this list. It's all of the colors on here. So I've got green gold is the nice green colors in there. And then the Quinn gold is in there as well in some of the brighter spots. The opera pink I call that confetti color. I put in opera pink throughout this, like little surprise pop fun colors. But I did want to show you how nicely similar to like the magentas that Gio is getting with the mixing. And then same colors again, the phthalo blue red shade and the cobalt teal blue are these lovely like sea green colors. And look at the shadow, the pretty colors that you can get with a mix with all of these with the Payne's blue gray. And I was going to show you one of my favorite, I was going to demo for you one of my favorite. I paint a lot of still life and you do a lot of marble surfaces that they sit on. And I love the Payne's, both of them, but I'll use Payne's blue gray today to create a marble surface. And so I'm going to throw this back here so I got my board. I'm going to show you a demo of how to create that texture. And I'm going to start with a flat brush. I don't have any pigment in here yet. My water's a little dirty. I just was doing all my swatches with my Payne's blue gray. So you've got a little bit of that in there. This is the Arches paper that I mentioned before, 156 pound, which I know you don't hear about that one as often. It's in between 140 and 300 pound. And it also comes in an elephant size. So it's 30 by 40 on the sheets. So I'm getting a nice wet on wet surface. And for the marbling effect, you kind of want it to sink in a little bit. So it's that patience thing where you're waiting. If it's completely shiny, you have, I call that soup, where it's sitting on the surface of the paper. So I'm waiting for it to soak in just a bit to get a little bit more of a matte finish. I'm going to get into my Payne's blue gray. I could really use either one interchangeably, the Payne's gray or the Payne's blue gray for this. When it's wet like this, I can come in and I can start to do my veining. And you see you get these nice soft edges, and I'm kind of just dragging my paintbrush along, and I'm trying to make it in the same direction, but you get all these organic shapes. And then I'm going to load my brush again. I can feed that wash a little bit and add in here to start getting deeper color in that veining as it's drying. And that's the great thing about watercolor is what the water does with the pigment and how it reacts, but it also can be really frustrating when you're learning your dry times, or if you switch brushes or paper and you have to learn how those are going to, how the dry time is affecting.
Carrie, have you experienced with your life living in different environments and climates that you have to relearn the environment that you're in with each move?
I think yes, you kind of, it's depend. I don't paint with as much water as I think as some people, like my friend Carol Carter, who does huge blooms and really relies on the wet on wet effect. She loves when she goes to visit Florida because she's normally in Missouri, and when she goes to Florida, she said it's like the perfect, like that humid environment. For me, I paint with a little less water. So this kind of technique, I want a little bit more. So some people will create their own environment by putting humidifiers in the room if you move to a dry climate. But I adapt pretty quickly. I'm going to take my brush now. I've gotten rid of all the water out of it. So it's a thirsty brush. And I'm going to pull across and you can kind of soften this marble veining effect. But look how pretty that's starting to look. And then you come back in and like as it's drying, I can come back in and drop in areas that I want a little more veining, a little darker vein in that. So this is, think about besides marble, like Gio was doing the clouds, but any kind of rock boulder. And I use it for glass all the time because when you're doing this translucency in glass, you want this color. And it's the perfect color for glass, clear glass. Even I use it in ball, like ball jars, even if they're blue. But it's just my favorite for glass, but also marbles and granite. It's just great. Skies, it's perfect. You got to have it. If you don't have it if you don't have these colors in your palette, you need them. It's just a must.
Agreed.
But you can do that and then you can soften as much as you want. And, like I said, if you screwed this up, got something too dark, it lifts so nicely. So there's another little marble surface and it's kind of fun, I did a class one time where we just did textures and watercolor and learning how to do, shiny stuff and marble and all those kind of things. So these are fun things to do. Just on your own to do some little textures. But that's what I wanted to share with you. I think I've gone over most of my techniques and colors. So if anybody has any questions before we move to the next artist.
Carrie, the table under the teapot, is that you use this marble technique?
Yes. So this marble and this one had a little bit of that green cast to it. So I've added the cobalt teal blue. Do you see that with the Payne's blue gray? Yeah. And so within the marble, I also did some green gold with the Payne's blue gray and some cobalt teal blue. So if you need colors in your surfaces as well, you start to get, it's almost like a mineral, like a rock minerally feeling that you're painting there.
Yeah, so you just soften it with a bigger brush.
Just like I was doing when it's kind of damp and you can come back in and just with a wet brush or actually a thirsty brush, you kind of smooth it out.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Carrie, when you showed us your color cards there, your swatches, did you mix them with the Payne's blue gray or the Payne's gray, or is it just a little bit of both in each one?
These I just did with Payne's blue gray because I typically want less granulation. So all of these colors, the one at the bottom are the Payne's blue gray and the Payne's gray together. And the other ones are mixed with Payne's blue gray. But if you're wanting more granulation, then, the Payne's gray is great as well. You get more granulation in there. But you still have some, it depends on the color that you're mixing it with. There's some granulation that's popping up in the middle with some of these colors. But isn't it pretty? It's like the perfect neutral to mix in with things.
Do you ever use the neutral tint?
I don't use it as much. I have tried it. I just maybe it's because I love the Payne's blue gray so much. I prefer it. I go back to this.
It is beautiful.
Carrie, did you mask the background? The vase before you painted in the background?
No, this one I I kind of work them together at the same time. So I have some lost edges in here. Do you see that? So I'm kind of incorporating at the same time. Now,
Okay.
if I was, this one has a little bit, do you see it's got a little bit of a sheen in the background? I don't know if you
Okay.
can see it. So if I'm wanting a completely flat matte background, then I might go back in and mask everything and get a really big brush and try to get rid of any sheen that I have.
And what were the colors you mixed with the background?
This is just Payne's Blue Gray.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have Angela next, John.
Thank you, Carrie.
Can I be the last, please?
Oh, okay, sure.
Thank you.
How about Buffy?
Sure. Am I up? Okay. Hi, everybody. I love Payne's Gray so much. It's on my dot card, but it was a real hard pick because Payne's Blue Gray, I use them both interchangeably because the Payne's Gray is very granulating. So when I want a gritty, rocks, sediment looking, I'll use the Payne's Gray, and the Payne's Blue Gray, I'll use it when I'm doing watercolor pouring or when I want smooth color mixing, a lot like Carrie said. But I also wanted to show how it looks compared to the other blacks. So this is the Payne's Blue Gray, and this is the Payne's Gray. And you can see how much cooler they are than, say, Jane's Black, McCracken Black, Lamp Black. So in a lot of ways, you can use it as a blue also if you want a more like tonal or more neutralized color scheme. So I'm getting ready to do a forest scene that I wanted to do with those kinds of colors. So I thought maybe you guys could help me. But they're both of the colors are semi-transparent, very low staining, so they lift great. And something else that I like to have is a little value scale. And this just helps me when I'm, looking at my painting to make sure I have my full value. So that's nice to have in general, just so you know. So you just take a piece of tape and tape off a section. And you start with your heaviest, thickest paint. And then you'll just pull it down with a little bit of water, just drag it down, and you'll be able to see the full range of that color. And the Payne's Gray, something really beautiful about it is it's not only beautiful in its full saturation, but look at how lovely this gray waters down to. So you can really get this full range value as it dries. Then you can have your own little value card. Over here, I was going to try some color ideas. So here is that Payne's Gray. And I think a color that it would play well with would be some bronzite. See how the bronzite pushes it out of the way? So cool. And that color also waters down beautifully. So if you have the Payne's Gray and the bronzite together, maybe a little lunar earth. Look at that. So let's say this is my yellow, red, and blue. Wouldn't that be a beautiful painting? Or if we were using the Payne's Gray again, what if I wanted to have a color that would balance with it? I could take my Payne's Gray and kind of use it as the base color. So let's mix a little Prussian green into that Payne's Gray. And now I'll have a green that's gonna have this balance with that Payne's Gray. What if I took some transparent red oxide and did the same thing? Because that color is very powerful. And what if I balanced it with a little bit of the Payne's Gray? Look at how beautiful that is. And see how they're all just kind of seamlessly going together. Another that I like for clouds is the lunar blue and the Payne's Gray and maybe a little bit of French. ultramarine. And the French, as soon as I put it on, it pushed the other colors away. So sometimes when you take some time to play with color, you can find a whole color world develop before you even start your painting. And you can observe how those colors interact with each other. See how the lunar earth and the bronzite, it has this pushing and pushing the black out. And see how where I mixed in the green and the red, you can see how strong that transparent red oxide is. So by doing this before you do your painting, you can kind of calibrate how you paint with those colors and how they'll get along. And then one other thing I wanted to show you that's fun to do with Payne's Gray, especially if you're ever just kind of in a rut or you're having a little artistic block, is you can sketch with it. So you can squeeze a little bit of the tube into a little, you can get a bottle cap or whatever, stir it up really good. And using a rolling pin, you can dip it in and you can sketch with it and make neat mark making. You can do this for trees. You can just do some fun calligraphy. You can add details to old barn paintings, tree limbs, that kind of thing. But it's kind of fun to have on hand too. And look at how cool and artsy it just made my swatch.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to play with these colors. Which one was your guys' favorite? The top or the bottom? Or you think I should use the whole thing?
I would use them all. I love them all. Can you remind me the top color? Which one was it? The reddish color?
A lunar earth. So this was Payne's Gray with lunar earth and bronzite genuine. And oh my gosh, that's really, really pretty. And then this was the Payne's Gray with Prussian green and transparent red oxide. And this was the Payne's Gray with the French ultramarine.
They are awesome mixes.
Thank you, Angela. I'll let those dry and then I'll start working on my forest while the next artist shares.
Thank you, Buffy.
Thank you, John.
I think we can have, I'm not sure if Rick is ready to share today, but if not, we can have Angela. Okay, I see that, Rick.
I'm just here to watch and learn today.
Okay. Okay, I did some swatching here. And I was starting on a new painting. This swatching, I did swatching with, like that, better? Okay. This is the Payne's Gray. This is the Payne's Blue Gray. So absolutely here it's so granulating. In all the three, I did 3 mixes with that, and they are all granulating. Whereas the Payne's Blue Gray is not granulating. This actually is on its own lighter. I forgot to mix it with another color. And this is Joseph's Neutral. Joseph's Gray, you know, let's see if I can find it. Yes, here. You see the Joseph's Beach Neutral Gray. They have 3 grays, the warm, the cool, and the neutral. This is the neutral. And it's the 3 of them have different qualities. As Buffy was explaining, this is almost a blue, and this has more, I don't know, more brownish maybe tone. It's a bit warmer than this. This I mixed with ultramarine blue, and the granulation of the ultramarine invaded this neutral Joseph's Gray. But I like very much the effect that it makes, very soft mix here. And here this is the Sleeping Beauty. Is this
Right.
the Sleeping Beauty? Look at what a beautiful tone it has made with Joseph's neutral.
This was
Yeah, beautiful.
too
This one in the middle is
almost.
it's oh, I forget the names. Yes, it's Aussie Red Gold. Aussie Red Gold. Also with the Payne's Blue Gray. I love the tone that it has made, like a sunset, maybe.
This
Excuse me? I don't know. I thought you were talking to me. This one is the Payne's Gray that granulates so much with the quinacridone red and the little remains that I had of the alizarin. So these are my mixes today, my swatchings. And I was starting to do this other painting, but now it's getting dry. I have to wet it again because I wanted an effect that the paper is too dry for that. I wanted to create a night scene. Let's see if I manage, or else I'll do other sort of mixes because this is the brush I was using here. It's a mixture of Payne's Gray and Payne's Blue Gray. Okay. On hot press paper that I like so much because it runs a lot. I will try to do something else now with this because I don't think the night scene will work. I was going to have the town, a village with a tower. But anyway, no problem. Let's see. This I will use the beautiful Aussie Red Gold. Yeah. Look how pushy it is. It goes into the gray. It is incredible how it goes there. Look at that. Get some paper. Okay, dry my brush. I keep putting the brush in the water and I shouldn't. Okay. Dry the brush a little. You know that I always use the gravity, or I like to do that. I don't always do it, but I like to do it. In this case, it should be going down or a bit more the yellow. Okay, and now some of this beautiful red.
Hey, Angela,
Yes,
I think this question's for you. What's the paper you're using?
this is Baohong hot pressed.
Bahong hot press?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
So I think this is my way of showing the sunset or a night scene starting. I will incline it a bit more to see what happens. Maybe we get some interesting effects. Just drawing the sides because I don't want any unwanted drops to go into the painting. I think there are many interesting possibilities here. See, yeah.
So beautiful, Angela.
Thank you. You're in Córdoba, right?
Yes, I'm in Cordoba Watercolor Festival.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. I couldn't go.
I'm at the hotel room now.
Good, 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 good. So they in Córdoba they are organizing every year. They are organizing a watercolor festival, and it has become so international and so full that now it's fully booked. You cannot go there at all.
Yes, especially this year, very busy.
Very busy. Yes, I wanted to go, but there was no space left. So. So I think that I'm more or less done. If maybe Buffy wants to continue. Thank you for watching.
Beautiful colors, Angela.
Yeah, the combination with the grays is fantastic. I love it. I'm going to use now a bit of the Joseph's gray. My brush is not clean. I didn't clean my brush, so all the colors that are there stay in the brush. I sometimes do that. Okay, you will see the result when it dries. Okay.
Any of our guests who swatched along and would like to share your artwork, we'd love to see that.
That's nice, Giovanni.
Thank you, John. It's a combination with starting with Payne's blue gray and Payne's gray before, and cadmium orange hue for the lights, and restarting with magenta and Payne's blue gray.
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
I want to share a piece, if I may, John.
Of course.
I'm sorry I couldn't be here the other days, but I told you about the green, I about the green, the tallow green.
Yeah.
I really like it, and I use it pure as it is. So I just want to share you my, my piece.
Is that
with-
Mexican?
This is, yes, it's Mexican. This is a Catrina. It's a Katrina, and every year on the November the 2nd, I try to make one of these beautiful women. But it's a Katrina, and we celebrate that as a little bit different as the other people in the world. So
It's very important, the Feast of the Dead, right?
yes, it's important.
No?
We spend, the night of November the 1st and November the 2nd celebrating, and making a feast table with all the things that the people who is already dead in our family, or a friend, or especially our family. So we make a special table for them with candles and salt and cempasúchil flowers. These are cempasúchil flowers, are very orange, like the orange you have here in Daniel Smith, the permanent orange. That's the color of those flowers, and at that time of year they are blossom. So it's so beautiful.
Very beautiful.
I just want to share you this.
Very nice.
Thank
Very
you.
thoughtful.
Beautiful.
Very welcome.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Veronica.
You're welcome, Angela.
That's a beautiful remembrance. Very beautiful.
The 30 light red, the new color, one of the 16 new color.
Payne's gray.
Beautiful colors, Gio.
Yeah.
Thank you, Erkin.
Theo, did you wet your section of paper there before you started to put anything in?
Yeah,
Giovanni, what paper are you using?
this is a Fabriano hot pressed 300 grams. And the last is a Lana Aquarelle.
Is that cold pressed?
Hot press. Or cold press, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you show your palette, Giovanni?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is
thank you.
and my dish. This is Payne's blue gray and Payne's gray.
Well, it looks like stones with
Yeah.
all those colors in there.
Now with Payne's blue gray is perfect for for example for create the brownish stone in the center of Rome, the ancient old stone, Roman stone.
Beautiful.
And create this. This is the last. Oh,
I think you just need to stop and go ahead and frame that piece right now.
yeah.
Spoil it. He's saying, don't spoil it.
Lascialo così questo.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like Gio da Vinci.
No.
No.
I like that.
Yeah.
Da Vinci.
This is Payne's gray drying with Burgundy
the color?
ochre and
Is that the
Burgundy.
color of the stones, the yellowish mix?
This
Yes?
is Burgundy yellow ochre.
No, I mean, is the color of the stones in Rome?
The Rome is a particular brownish because more people confund with the Pompeii red, but with Payne's gray is perfect. For example, I tried this mix creating the little corner. Create this stone. This is Payne blue gray with cadmium orange hue.
Wow.
Created this particular brown. It's very dark. Do you remember, for example, in the in Foro Imperiale in Rome near Colosseum, the brick in this mode, for example, on the wall, brick by brick.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit redder, so it's this color.
Yeah, it's more red, but it's with this combination and little point of pyro red. Right. Okay. In this mix.
Ah, yes.
I created this little shade of Roman example. Is this Roman bricks is typical on in Italy is called tufo, is a typical stone, and this mixed with Payne's gray and Payne's blue gray is perfect for me.
Very nice.
Tufo, is that the light stone that is like not heavy?
No.
It is like with air inside, right?
Yeah. Well, I change with pink gray and cadmium orange. It's more light. and a pyro red.
It is changing the hue.
Yeah, change the hue because this is Payne's blue gray and cadmium orange and pyro red. This is Payne's gray. Change completely the hue. Is more light in this case.
Super.
You're welcome.
John, we have a new sharer. Thank you, Sharon, for asking as to how to share your artwork. Are you ready? Okay, we just saw her hand raised. Okay, there you go.
Okay. I just have never done this watching with you all before, and I found this pretty interesting when Giovanni talked about a good rock color, because I'm going to the Grand Canyon. So I did some swatching and then tested for lifting. So
Well done, well done.
Mixes.
You have to come back with some paintings from the Grand Canyon.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. So we're gonna show everybody's swatch now.
Can we see Buffy?
We still have about 4 minutes, John. So wondering if there are questions for our brand ambassadors or any insights from other guests. We're gonna add cars.
Ethel, I did want to show I mixed the same colors with the Payne's gray, but I did the Payne's blue gray so you can see the difference with the same colors.
So just have a quick spotlight just for Carrie's frame there.
It's just so you can see it has more granulation, of course, with the Payne's gray. But look how it's almost like neon-y. It's neat. I love.
So the green one, is that, did you say it was undersea green or which one?
That is green gold.
Green gold. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, green gold. And it kind of gives you that almost neon green effect, you know? And the green gold is one of those pushy colors a little bit, you know? It kind of can take charge. So I like that about it.
Yeah.
Great.
Buffy's trees are beautiful. Oh, look at Angela's. Everybody's is so neat.
Yeah, it's nice.
Thank you. It's an exciting color to explore. And I think some people overlook it because it's so historical and they want to try more new contemporary things. And it's like there's some wisdom in tried and true colors. So,
yes.
So beautiful work, Buffy.
thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see, but you can see where I use that ruling pin to put the little branches and do some sketching.
I love
So
that.
it could be a nice way, especially if you're doing any urban sketching or you're going on vacation and you just want to do some quick sketch and washes. These little ruling pins are just a couple dollars. You can find them just about anywhere, and they work great.
Of course, it's better than like one of those pens. I mean, ballpoint pens or something like that, because it's much more natural.
I think it's cool because you can do some different effects with it. I don't know, it feels more artsy because you can drag and you can use the line. So versus using, you could also kind of splatter with it and make really, like I could put birds.
Really?
For those of you that don't know how to paint birds, here you go.
And ruling pens are great for math.
You can also create straight lines with a straight edge with those lines.
Yeah. Okay, maybe those aren't birds, but you know what I'm saying. It's a very artsy tool, I think. to just get really neat markings and things on your work. And some people will sign their name with it as well. So thank you for letting me share, guys.
Well, very nice. Thank you all very, very much. It's great to see your explanations. Thank you very much for joining today. I hope you can see join tomorrow as well. If not, we'll see you next week. Thank you, everybody, for sharing.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone.
You're very welcome, all of you.
Okay.
Good feedback.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.